Dark nights of the soul. Let's talk about them. So, what is a dark night of the soul? From my experience, a dark night of the soul is when life causes you to go into that fight or flight mode. In that fight or flight mode where you have to develop aspects of your personality, you have to develop tools of protection to survive whatever's happening in your life. So, you could be in a challenging relationship, you could be struggling with a child, it could be a death, like anything. You could just be doing a job you don't like. Anything where you are in a situation that you feel like you aren't in control. We go into these survival modes. And when we're in these survival modes, we have to adapt to survive. We have to become something away from ourselves, away from our creative, flowing through life selves into these surviving beings that are armored and unconscious in our lives. Unconscious because we're so focused on whatever the situation is. We've closed our focus on whatever the situation is in our lives, and we've stopped being the creator that we are. We've started being created by the situation. And so we go into these dark nights of the soul because we've evolved into a new version of ourselves. We are becoming more conscious again. We're coming back to ourselves. And in that process of coming back to the self, we are going to have to let go of these layers and all of this armor and all of these tools that we've acquired to survive. I love the analogy that I always use. I remember being a kid at the beach, and if you got a bucket of sand and you shook it, all of the bigger rocks would come to the surface and it would purify the sand. And it's just like that. We're vibrating a new vibration, and we're moving into our evolved self. We're coming back to the self. And all of the denser things, personality traits, all of these like lower dimensional parts of us that we've acquired, that we've developed to survive, are breaking free, are coming to the surface and are being released. And while that happens, even though it would be amazing if they just vanished, what really happens is we see them on the way out. They process through our energy. As they come through us, we become aware of these parts of us, these aspects of us. And that's really what makes the dark night of the soul so painful, is because we have to really look, we're looking in a mirror at all of these parts of ourselves we want to let go of. And we're realizing or remembering who we truly are. And in that remembering, we have to be very honest with ourselves, and we have to really self-reflect, and we have to see the parts of us that are dying off. And during a dark night of the soul, sometimes it feels like a death because there is a part of you that is dying off. You'll find that sometimes you even get thoughts about dying, and that is because the part of you that's dying off is thinking about the fact that they're dying off, and you're receiving those thoughts. So my advice for a dark night of the soul is, don't be afraid to be on your own. Um, when I went into my dark months of the soul that I went through, when I came out of this prolonged fight or flight mode, um, I had I had to really get through some of this programming about what it meant to be on my own and what it meant to want this time alone, and all of the people who were expecting me to keep being the version of me that I was being because it was really working for them, because I was taking on way too much. But I had to honor myself over everyone's expectations in me. I had to break free. And it caused a lot of conflict in my life as I began showing up or not showing up as someone new. And people, when you're in that fight or flight mode, you're you're less empowered. So you're more likely to just be swayed by other people, to do things that aren't in alignment with you. So I found myself doing everything for everyone. And then all of a sudden I went through this dark night of the soul where I needed to just do things just for me. I needed to quiet down all of the voices around me, and only when I quietened down all of these voices around me could I really reconnect with the voice inside myself. And that is a process, because when you reconnect with that voice inside of yourself, you're not going to like what it's saying at first, because you've been ignoring it for such a long time. You're going to have to be very honest with yourself and remember that this is the greatest relationship there is the one that you have with you. And that deserves time, that deserves love, that deserves everything that you try and give to everyone around you. I heard something amazing the other day that was, people who love themselves love others. And it's so true. If you love you, only then can you love me, really. And the happiest people are the people who bring the most happiness to everyone around them. So it should be your number one priority to make sure that you're happy over everything and everyone around you, even if that feels like conflict, even if that feels selfish. Yes, it is selfish. You have to be selfish. You have to fill your heart with love so that that heart can love everybody else. And that's what a dark night of the soul really is. It's coming back to you, and it's a process of letting go and filling back up, filling yourself back up. And also, if you're working towards being a greater version of yourself, and you have this whole life expecting you to be this older version of you, and it's so easy for you to step back into that life and to fall back into an old state of being. Yes, go into isolation, go into a dark night of the soul, and release all of that. Don't hang out with that friend until you know for sure that when you do, you will be able to show up as the new version of you. Put yourself first, and that's really what a dark night of the soul is. One thing I know for absolute sure about a dark night of the soul is that it will make you a better person. And don't blame the process. It's never the process. It's never the breath work. It's never the meditation. It's never the things that you're doing for yourself. It's never the having time for yourself. That stuff is not doing anything wrong. Things that are making you feel these negative emotions are all of the things that are coming up and out and being released. And we want them to come up and out and be released, because we don't want to be walking through life with all of these denser energies kept in our body. We want them to be set free so we can step into our new state of being. And it's so hard sometimes to remember that it's getting into the vibration. That is our number one priority. That should be our number one priority, is to get in the state of being first. We've been so conditioned to be actors, to act, be productive, do this, do that. We should always be acting from within the vibration that we want to be acting within. What is the point in waking up and feeling negative emotions and then moving through your life with those negative emotions, receiving life from that vibration? Get in the right vibration. And that's what a dark night of the soul is. It's getting yourself in the right vibration so you can start receiving life from this upgraded vibration. I hope this helps. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments. Lots of love.